Hello, welcome to Budget Model Railways, another episode of Tutorial Tuesday. In today's video, we're going to look at how you can take really good quality photos of your model railway layout. The first step is to find somewhere to photograph. The best place for this is to find somewhere where most scenery on your layout has been added. Once you've found that spot, try adding some detail, like people and cars, to give the camera something interesting to photograph. Try to make scenes like a car being towed or people waiting at the platform. These are always interesting as you can get nice and close up and see the detail on the people's faces and the vehicles. Back scenes are also very useful as they contain your layout and give it some sky. But don't worry if you don't have back scenes like in this shot here. We can just use some free editing software later to swap the background for some sky. Make sure your layout is in natural light as this will give you the best quality image. The final step is of course to find a camera or a phone, something that takes pictures. If you're just starting out with your camera, put the camera into auto mode. This still takes a great photo but does the complex settings for you. However, one important thing is you must enable macro mode. This will take better photos close up. If you're more confident with your camera, set it to manual mode. This will give you more control over the settings and quality of the picture. Set the aperture as low as it will go, and the shutter speed to 1 and 125. Adjust the ISO to auto ISO, as this will adjust the light settings for you. Make sure to turn off and close your flash, as well as putting macro mode on. When using a phone to take photos of your layout, remove its case. This can drag across the layout and cause damage. Also, remember to use the rear camera, as this is bigger and has a higher megapixel, which means it will take a better photo than the front-facing selfie cam. Hold your phone landscape so that it gives you a widescreen resolution. Turn on touch to focus if your camera has this option. This will mean that you can tap the screen on the location you'd like to be in focus before taking the photo. Also, make sure your phone is set to take photos in 16:9. This is a widescreen resolution. Smaller devices like phones can be great for taking photos of your layout, as they can fit in small spaces like between buildings. When taking your photos, don't be a helicopter. Photos like this don't look very good as they don't pick up much detail or scenery that's going on inside the layout. Instead, get down nice and low and you can get good quality photos like the one shown here. This gives much more detail and you can see more of the platform. If you can't get close to the object you would like to photograph, you may have to zoom. I would only recommend doing this with a camera that has an optical zoom, as this does not degrade the quality. Mobile phones and cheaper digital cameras use a digital zoom, which downgrades the pixelations and makes the photo look a lot less sharp. Oh yeah, and always remove the lens cap before you try and take a photo. I would always recommend taking a few photos at each scene. This saves you time later as you can go through and pick your favourite, which means you won't have to go back and photograph again if the image isn't quite what you'd like. Before I show you how to edit some of the photos, like adding in back scenes and maybe changing the colour to black and white, I'm going to show you the quality difference between the photos I have taken. So I will show you first of all the photos from my phone, and then I will show you the photos from the camera. So enjoy this little minute to 2 minute of photos. So you can see here that a phone takes a good enough picture for starting out, but the camera gives a much sharper image for close-up things like this, and that's because most phones don't have an inbuilt macro mode. The camera only really shows its difference on shots like this, where you've got detailed faces of people. To edit your photos, you're going to first need to download and open up some free editing software called GIMP. This is basically Photoshop, but simpler, and it's a lot cheaper because it's free. To start editing your photo, you need to go to File, Open, and double-click on the photo you would like to edit. To swap the blank back scene for a sky image, you need to go to File, Open as Layers, and select the image you would like to use as a back scene. Then use the Scale tool, as shown here, to make the image the same size as your picture. Once you've done that, click on the sky image and then the green arrow below it. This sends it to the back and brings your photo forward. Then, click on your photo you would like to edit, go up to Layers, Transparency, and add an alpha channel. Then, using the free Select tool as shown here, go around the edges of all the buildings where the back scene ends. Once you've done this, you must click Delete. Once you've swapped all your blank background for sky, to save it, go to File, Export As, and save it where you'd like to save it. The last thing I like to do is change some of the photos into black and white. This sometimes makes the photos look even more realistic, like the next scene.
Hi, thanks for watching the video and for the nice comments. Click on the left for a previous video in this series, click on the right for another video you might enjoy, and please don't forget to click to subscribe, like, comment, etc. Thanks again.